Recorded. Hi, friends. My name is host Eric. I'm host talking with famous people. I'm here with Janelle, not host Mark. I'm here with Melina. I'm here with INFP Tom, who looks like a cancer patient and a woman. And I'm here with Freigeist, most probably INTP, an MBTI beginner. He's only learned the beginning moves of MBTI. He can't do the kill moves yet. He's an optimistic nihilist, a bit paradoxical, but I like that, and all that entails, which is quite a bit. So, having made our introductions, let me proceed to say this video is for Jared Chen, I believe his last name is, and he is Jared Chan, and he is an ENFP who watched one of my ENFP videos and left this very long comment that it talks about a lot of things that I wanted to address for ENFPs and ENTPs alike. It says, your whole timescale confusion section was spot on, and I'm very encouraged, as what you said aligned with what I've recently been thinking about as far as my projects. I've written all the projects down. I've decided to slowly work through them outside of my day job. The knowledge that I can slowly move through them until completion encourages me. And because they're a larger project and not news flash time-sensitive projects, I feel they're solid enough to give me satisfaction or something I feel proud about once they are eventually completed. And as I move along the journey, I can feel satisfaction knowing that I'm working towards something of lasting value because these projects are part of my life's work and serve as assets to my creative life. That's an important paragraph right there, as far as I'm concerned, because there's a lot of things that link into that paragraph. One, it's really easy to get stuck in immediacy when dealing with artistic projects and to think, I'm never going to finish this, or, oh, this is shitty anyway, or whatever. And the reality is, some things will sit around for many years before getting worked on again. For example, one song I've been singing a lot lately is a little ditty I made up 15 years ago. I've never recorded it. Doesn't have any chords or anything. It's just a song that I made up singing, and I find myself singing it still to this day. And I'm gonna try to make it into a real song. But the only part I have right now goes like this, and it only has one sentence worth of lyrics. It says, "What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man. What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man. What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man. What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man." That's all it is. I made that up 15 years ago, and I'm still singing it to this day. And I still haven't done anything with it, but I've been bugging Kimberly lately because I keep singing it in the car. At some point, I'm going to make a song out of that fucking song. I've got another one that I recently made up with. This is a newer one that I made up since I've been with Kimberly. That goes, I should have drove to the Hove to the HOV in my vehicle of high occupancy. I shouldn't roll alone. I rolled with two or three in the vehicle now, including me. It's a pro diamond lane. Well, it's not really in favor of diamond lanes, but it talks about using the carpool lane. So, am I gonna make anything out of that? I don't know, but as an object now, it has much more relevance to me because I've shared it with these people here. I've talked with Kim about it, and those, which brings me to the next linkage I want to take to that first paragraph there, which was music ideas are especially distinct and durable. So you can sit on a music idea for a decade and return to it. No problem. Novels work that way too, but of all ideas, musical ideas are the most conceptually distinct and durable. Like if I if I change the melody to "What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man. What's the matter with Dan? He's a terrible man." If I change the melody to it, it's a different song. If I change the rhythm to it, it's a different song. It's not the same thing. So it has to persist in its form. Your ideation has durability like that according to what kind of ideation it is. If you're if you're making up comedy, stand-up comedy routines, they have very low durability. So even if it totally works right now, it might be not funny at all in 10 years. Music's the opposite. If you're Mozart and you wrote some concerto in 1600 or whenever Mozart wrote his shit, then it's still popular today if it's good. And that's why NI-DOMs tend to understand music as objectively so, especially NI-DOMs, and tend to understand as aesthetic relativism is bullshit. In other words, they're aesthetically absolute. The reason this song or that song is better than another one is because of its quality is implicit to the thing. It's not an experiential thing. Okay, so that's how I wanted to respond to the first paragraph. Let's go on to the second paragraph of Jared's comment. God damn it. I accidentally closed that tab like an idiot. Okay, well, I'll get back there short enough order. So, well, what? Oh, Mark? Mark, Tim wants to know why you're so dapper.
Church this morning.
Oh, it's Sunday.
And I'm leading the Lord's table. So I'm getting ready for that.
So you wear a suit and tie every Sunday?
Not every Sunday, but most of them.
He's leading today.
This is the second time
I'm leading
seen you in
today.
a suit
That's
and
the reason.
this week.
What was that?
It's the second time I've seen you in a suit and tie this week.
Yeah, the other day I went to a banquet. So
That's your
You look very nice.
banquet / church outfit.
yeah, well, I got 2 suits with me right now. So this is the different suit. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna have you help me dress Eric. Come tournament time.
Is it a real tie or is it clip on?
not nice. You know.
Dribble off.
Okay, that answers the question.
It's a clip-on Mark. All right, let me go back to
Is
Jared's
it really
comment.
a clip-on?
That's what he says, I think.
Clip on my butt.
Okay, it's ties.
All right, good. All right, I've failed again and again in my life in various areas, work, study, businesses, relationships, creative projects, etc. But I still believe deep down in there, somehow, some way, I can finally make something that will be of significance to the world. Jared, hold on to that faith. I have failed. However many times you failed, and however many areas there are, multiply that by at least 2 for me, because you look to be substantially younger than I am. I am a product of my accumulated, amalgamated failures. To the extent that you think I have any positive qualities, they are entirely the consequence of failure, of nothing but failure for 42 years. I mean, not nothing but. I was pretty happy with Delilah. I thought there's a success for sure. She came out of the womb healthy and has remained more healthy than me in every regard since.
And she lived to be 19.
Yeah, she made it to 19 yesterday. That means my job's done. If she dies now, it's on her. So, okay, Jared, yeah, don't make the failure your mechanism of optimization. It's the only way to deal with it. Before I quit drinking, I did not do that at all. I made the failure the engine of my self-loathing. It's like, let me keep track of every single failure while concurrently ignoring every single success so that I can always win the argument that I'm a worthless pile of shit. That way I don't have to worry. What? I don't understand that. But that's me. So if you feel the same way at all, Jared, even a shimmer of that, I strongly encourage you not to, and to embrace your instincts as to what you want to do and make and all that kind of stuff. He says, I just don't want to lose motivation in the painful monotony of everyday necessities to survive while I try to muster up the energy to do my creative project. That's why I wrote out my project and look at the list every day to remind myself that the monotony is worth it in the end. That's TE right there instead of TI. But I have doubts because I'm slow at writing, reading, etc. I don't know if I can ever finish what I've started, and my NE is going wild, creating elaborate libraries in my mind that I don't know if I can contain. I'm scared of not being able to actualize, and at the same time being struck down low in a world that values different things, especially as I get older. You sound like an extroverted intuitor 1,000,000%. I mean, the thing is, you probably aren't slow at writing, reading, etc. You just aren't as fast at writing, reading, etc. as you are at ideating. I have the same problem. I can't type as fast as I can ideate. It's why so much of my ideation is done in this context rather than in the more durable and potentially more easily legitimated form of writing a book. So I do need to write that book, and I will eventually. I'm not going to get all my projects done. I'm going to get some of them done. And I'm not going to get to decide which ones I get done, really. It has to be, that's going to be dictated by my interest level and my whim. We are first and foremost people with a dopamine management problem. Okay, so ENFPs, ENTPs, here's what's wrong with you. You, like me, have a dopamine management problem. That means you're very easily bored and you have a hard time sticking with shit for extended periods of time necessary to get it accomplished. There's a couple of solutions. One, you could take a bunch of speed. That's perfectly okay. If that works for you, embrace it. Enjoy your amphetamines. They can be lots of fun. If you're not down with that solution, then you need to do what Jared's doing right here, which is ideate about how frustrating it is to be one of us. Okay, so let's read the last paragraph. But I can't think of those things because then life becomes too stressful. Exactly. You can't think your way through complexities that require you to print, right? We want to ideate and keep it all in conditional, like sort of, well, this is a good idea, and if I print it, then I'm no longer ideating. I'm working on executing that. One advantage ENFP has over ENTP is because they have TE instead of TI, they tend to concretize things a little bit better. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're more organized or something like that. It just means, well, like you said, I'm making a list. That's something I'd have a hard time doing. I can't seem to hold down a regular life, but I know why, and I enjoy the alternative life I've chosen. But the reality is, I'm still unacceptable to society, and that's okay if I'm left alone. If I were left alone, but I must face reality and have trouble manifesting my creativity into reality because I'm probably not good enough and too unskilled to earn money being myself. So I either abandon myself for money or be myself and remain poor unless I upskill and somehow use all my available time to create something worthy. But then I have no time for relationships. It's a crazy balance and or sacrifice that I'm trying to work out. Sorry for such a long comment. It just flowed out and feeling emotions I haven't felt in a while. I regret writing this much and I'm still deciding if I should submit this comment. I don't know what happened to me. When I started writing, I felt great, but now I feel really sad. This is unlike me. It must be one of the sorest spots in my life, I guess. Anyway, thanks for everything. All right. Yeah, dude, I totally feel you. I know what you're saying there. It's fucked up. It's like, well, I mean, I came in to Kim's family and did pretty well at first, making some good first impressions and shit. And then when they revealed, a couple of them, it revealed their sort of underhanded natures to me, I blew up. And that caused Kim's family to excommunicate her. Now, to me, that's proof of what I'm saying. But the point is, these are the kind of fucking things that you mean when you're saying that society doesn't legitimize what you're doing. Society doesn't legitimize what any of us intuitives are doing, really, except for INFJs, because what they're doing is making sure society legitimates them. Here's one thing I would like to warn against. Is there's a notion that we all have as makers that if I could just make something good enough, then that would be the key to being able to make financially. But it's not that. It's not the quality of the thing you make that matters. It's the persistence you have in making it, and it's the persistence you have in positioning it for others and contextualizing it in ways that people respond well to it. And it doesn't matter that much if it's good or not. Now, I'm sure if I were to watch a bunch of YouTube videos, I'm sure I'd find some people's videos who I think, wow, that guy's videos are really good, they're better than mine. And I'm sure I'd find lots of videos I'd say, wow, that video is terrible. It's terrible. Fact is, most people who have more successful YouTube channels than me, I'm going to conclude probably if I watch their videos that their videos are not as good as mine, even if I'm not super enthusiastic about mine. I don't normally do that at all. I don't bother comparing my work of any medium to another artist's work of any medium. However, if I were to do that about YouTube videos, I'm pretty sure I'd be convinced that mine were better, and I'd get potentially frustrated that, well, why does this person have 50,000 subscribers when I listen to what they're saying, there's nothing insightful or interesting in there, and it's all just sort of banal blah. And they're not speaking fluidly, and they're saying lots of filler words and ums and ahs. Why are they more popular than me? I could go down that path. The answer is never going to be because my art is worse or something. It doesn't work like that. It's like the answer is probably because whatever they're making appeals to a broader group of people. Um, there's a depth of engagement as well as a breadth of engagement. We'd like to have very broad engagement because that correlates strongest with money. But deep engagement is just as valuable from a artistic perspective. So, I mean, I'm pretty deeply engaged with Not Host Mark, for example. What gives me a great sense of joy and satisfaction is knowing that some of the arguments that Mark and I worked out here arguing against each other made their way into his college class, and he used them to beat his professors around the head. That is extraordinarily gratifying to me. So that's deep
Thanks,
engagement,
Eric.
though not broad engagement. The point is, it's a distinction between deep engagement and broad engagement. Broad engagement is more profitable, but deep engagement is just as valuable. As indicated by this channel, I've made a lot of friends here, people I take very seriously as my life.
I'm not sure.
What?
I'm not sure what that is.
What, deep engagement versus broad engagement? Broad engagement refers to ability to appeal enough to a large different kind of people that they'll all watch at least a little bit. Deep engagement means you haven't made a video that appeals to 50 million people, but you made a video that appeals to a much smaller group of people, but they're much more likely to come back and engage with you in the ideas more seriously. It's going to impact their lives more, but it's going to impact fewer lives. You could have both, and when you do have both, then you're like a big star or something. I don't have both, and it's partially because I probably use too many big words, and I'm too TI over FE and stuff like that. Anyway, that got a little bit kind of off topic, I guess. But Jared, my point is, good job prioritizing spiritually your creative impulses. I feel you, dog, regarding the day job, creative job thing. For a lot of years, I worked like 60 hours a week. This state where I'm in, where I'm playing all the time and working like I work Tuesdays, Mondays, and some weekends. Right now, I need to build up a business, get more clients, start being more active in that regard and making more money. But even when I do that, because I own the business, I don't have that kind of 9 to 5, 9 to 7 schedule that I used to have, and it's freed me up to do a lot of creative stuff. So it would be spoiled of me. It'd be wrong and spoiled of me to suggest that I'm not in a vastly empowered position to make, both because of my scheduling opportunities and because of the fact that I have an audience that allows me to get feedback for stuff. It's possible for me to put out something bad and learn right away that nobody likes that. Get a bunch of thumbs down. That's extremely valuable to have as a maker, to not have to impose what you've made on friends and family and then have them go, no, I don't want to listen to another one of your things, Eric. So there is that reality that it's something that I'm very fortunate to have, but it came out of persistence and consistency of producing stuff, not out of quality. That's the message. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching Talking with Famous People. Thanks for your very considered comment, Jared. I hope this video response reverses the sadness that you have for what your own perception of supposed FE mistakes of writing so much in the comment. No FE mistake at all, my friend, regarding me. I'm also somebody who wants to get all the ideas out and doesn't like it when we're constrained by, but then it's going to seem like I'm too eager or something. Fuck that noise. I'm behind your full expression of yourself without any constraint or reservation. So anyway, thanks for watching Time with People. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And Have a nice Sunday.